Hello and welcome. So, how was Java programming language? Did you learn everything that you want? I suppose that you have learned everything and you know how to use Java right now. And let me bust a myth right now that everyone expects that like a developer to write the code without even looking at the internet. That's just absurd, okay? Even every developer, even Mark Zuckerberg, when he developed Facebook, he looked up he looked up on Google to find the answers for the code. Okay, so the main concept over here is that you should know what tool you should use to solve a problem. Suppose if I tell you to solve a problem, suppose if I tell you to write a code to check if a variable is less than 13 or not, so you should know that you should use a if condition to solve that problem. Once you know the condition on once you know what you should use, then all you have to do is just go to google.com and write if condition in Java. So once you do that, you will get all the links over here. You just have to open up any link and just you can get the syntax over here. And let me tell you, that's completely legal, okay? There's no cheating over here. I'll tell you, even senior developers, like full stack senior developers, even if I'm a software developer, even I look at Google and look at the documentation, okay, in order to get the answers, or in order to look the syntax. So once you know the syntax, you will know how to use the program, and by doing this, you'll be like pretty much perfect with the syntax, and you won't have to open Google and look at every code that you want. Of course, I do not go ahead and search for the syntax of if condition. I've been coding since 6 years, so I know what is the if condition. So yeah, but if you are, suppose if I want to learn a new language, if I want to write if condition in Python, then I can search for if condition in Python. Since you know and I know what is if condition, all we have to do is just write the syntax. So the concept of programming in every programming language is same. Everyone has if condition, everyone has loops, everyone has classes. Like there are some languages that does not contain classes, but for now, that's suppose that we have. So as you can see, Python has if condition in this way. So Python has if condition over here. It does not have any flower brackets, and it does not have any semicolon. So similarly, I can just compare that and write. So you should know what is the concept. So you should basically know what are these variables, how to write the for loop, what is a for loop. Once you know that, then all you can do is just go ahead and search on Google, okay? And that's completely fine, and I urge you to do that, okay? Please do that. If you're not solving a problem, if you're not able to solve a problem, you can just go ahead and Google. Okay, so enough talking, let's move to the coding. So in this video, we'll be basically creating an addition calculator application. Okay, so now before that, I'll show you. We'll be using a nice material. Let me show you material app Android documentation. Okay, just go ahead and Google this thing on your own computer. Material design for Android. And okay, let me just press back. Material design will basically choose the second option over here. Okay, material will basically help us design beautiful applications. So you'll see this now. So material Android GitHub repo, press this one, and I guess okay, let me go to develop and choose the Android, choose this one, and I guess we will be having option. Okay, let me just quickly find that and show you. So we have to go to this website and press develop, and over here choose Android, and then press this get started with material design component for Android. So components for Android. So we have to do this thing, okay? depend on our library material components. So we have to go to build.gradle and add these things. Okay, make sure that there is Google added. So I suppose there will be already added. So go to Gradle scripts, go to this one, first one, and as you can see, there is already this Google over here. Build script repositories and all project repositories Google Center. Just follow the options. There is no such rocket science in it. And important thing is to just do this thing. Copy this thing and go to the other build.gradle file and go to the dependencies and add the dependency over here. Press Ctrl V to, and inside our version, we have to write the version. As far as I know, the version is let me check what is the version. 1.0.1.40. Okay, well, I'll use the stable version, and the stable version is let's see what is the stable version. Stable version is 1.3.0. Just go ahead and write 1.3.0 over here. 1.3.0. Just write that and press this sync now. So it will take some time to make the Gradle project sync the Gradle project. So I'll just pause this video and let's come back as soon as this thing finishes up. As you can see, Gradle sync has finished in 1 minute. It took 1 minute to me, and the next step goes go to app, go to res, go to styles.xml, and over here we have theme dot, right? Just change it to material theme. Okay, let me just quickly just go to this website and look at the theme dot material components. Theme dot material components day night. Choose this one. Okay, theme dot material components will basically do this thing. And now let's go back to this thing, and now let's design our application. The very first thing that we will be doing is just choosing the background color. Okay, so now let me just press this constraint and go to background and press this button, background, and I'll choose a nice background which will look something like that's kind of girlish. I'll choose a blue background. Yep. Kind of a dark blue. Yeah, dark blue will do the work. And now what we will do over here, we will basically put a text view like right over here. And of course this is a black color, right? So now what I will do over here is that I will go ahead and search for color again. Text color, I will choose this thing as white. And white, and we will basically change the font as well. We'll search for font family and we'll press this one, and there are like many fonts over here. When you press this more fonts, and if you have if you have a successful internet connection, you can search for any font that you want over here. The font that I like is Montserrat. Choose this one, and let me choose this one as bold. So when I press OK, this will basically download the font from Google Fonts for me. Yeah, Montserrat will be Montserrat, and now we'll increase the size of the text. We'll make this thing as 30 sp, and 36 sp would be fine. And now what I will do over here, I'll just make this thing over here, right over here, and I'll just press this button, press this button as well. And now what I will do over here, I'll just do the same thing that we did. So it will become here in the center. Now I'll use this vertical biasing. Of course, we have seen this in the previous video. What is vertical biasing? I'll just bring it right over here. And over here inside the text, I will write something like addition calculator. Okay, addition calculator will do the work. And now just below this thing, we will write a card view over here. Okay, let me just quickly drag and drop this card view, and let me just quickly assign it to this one, and take this thing and put it over here, and do the same thing on the left side as well. Okay, right now. And now inside this card view, we'll be adding a few things. We'll be adding a edit text first, which will be a plain text. Okay, it won't be a plain text. We'll just add a number. We'll just drag and drop it over here. Okay, inside the card view, we have this edit text. Okay, I'm sure you can see this thing. All we have to do is just all we have to do is just change the color of this thing. Text color would be this one, but background color should be white. Okay, so I'll choose the white background, and I'll write an hint over here and enter the first number. Okay, this is this one. And now yeah, and I guess that's it over here. And now we will search something called padding over here, and add some padding. Padding is just like, we'll speak about padding and margins in the future video. Don't worry about it. Just see what is padding. If I add 5 dp over here, so as you can see, it is adding some space inside the text, inside the edit text. So margin is just like adding a space outside the edit text, outside the component. Padding is adding space inside the element or component. Okay, we are doing that. I'll just make this thing in center. Okay, yep. And let me just quickly design this thing in this way. And now what I will do over here is that I will basically decrease the size from here. I don't know if I can do that. Well, never mind. I'll just leave it in this way. We can also add some layer margin. Search for margin for this edit text, and we will add some margin like 10 dps, like all around the place. And now what I will do, I'll just copy this thing, and I'll just press Ctrl and press D. Or what I will do over here, let me show you. I'll just press this in Ctrl C, and I'll press Ctrl V. So this will copy and paste the same thing. And now what we have to do over here is that we have to choose this one and choose the constraints. Okay, for some reason we are not having the constraints option. Okay, never mind. I'll just do it over here. So what I will do over here is that, since I cannot put this thing below this one, so what I will do over here inside this card view, I will add a layout called linear layout. So I will add this thing inside the card view, and okay, I'll just wait for this thing to be added. For some reason this is not working properly. And now inside the linear layout, I'll just put this edit text, and I'll put this edit text as well. So you see, we have different options over here, and both of them are in this way. And now I'll change the hint as enter second number. Okay, I'll just make this thing as capital, right? And now just below this thing, so you know what is linear layout, right? We saw linear layout in the previous video. in previous videos, I guess. And now to this card view, I'll add a margin. See, designing the application is the most important thing. That will make your application stand out from all the applications available in the market. So I'll use 10 dp or like 15 dps will be perfect in my opinion. Okay, so 15 dp is fine, and that's still running. And now what I will do over here is that I'll just basically add a new button to this thing that will basically compute and give the result in a new text view. Okay, the main motto of this tutorial is to basically implement all of the things that we have learned and put that knowledge inside one application and make that application. Okay, so this is an addition calculator and it has some linear layout. Card view has a layout margin of 25 dp. I write 25 dp, that will basically make some space over there. And now I will be adding a button, right? Let me go to button and add a button inside our linear layout. So button will look something like this. Yeah, and I'll be putting this thing in the center. I'll make the width as wrap content and I'll be putting it right over here. So in order to do that, all we have to do is to just go to, so in order to make this thing in the middle, we have to choose this one inside the linear layout. We have to choose this one and press search over here and search for layout gravity, this option, and press this one and make this thing as center true. This will become in center. Okay, and we'll add some color to it, not the text color. I want the color of the background. Background color should be something like red. Red sounds nice, and because this is a very, and text, I need a text. Okay, what's wrong? I'll just choose this. Okay, for some reason this is not showing that, but let me go over here and change the text as get result. So get result will basically create this button. Let me just go back over here and choose the attributes and choose the button, and we will just go ahead and write search for something like padding. So now you will see what is padding. As you can see, there are no spaces over here, right? Now if I write 5 dp, it's increasing. The size of this thing is, if I write 10 dp, so the size inside the button will increase. So get result, and I'll also add some margin. So I hope you know what is a margin by now. I'll write 10 dp from all sides, or yeah, 15 dps from all sides. Okay, that is it. And now we have to add the plain text, not the plain text, we have to add the text view over here, and the text view would say your answer is, okay, text view would say your answer is, okay. Now let me just change the color of this text view to white. Okay, let me just quickly do that. So there we have it. We have this thing as white color, and now after that we will be basically increasing the size of the text. Okay, the size tag font family would be, let's make this thing as sans serif. Okay, now just leave it in that way, and we'll change the size of this one to 30. Yeah, your answer is, a drum roll, and your answer is, we'll basically add the answer. Or should we add one more text view? That will basically help us gain the answer. So now what we have to do over here, I'll use a magic element over here. We'll choose this one, or what I can do over here, I'll just put it over here. I'll assign it over here. Yeah. So what I will do over here is I will basically put this thing and put this thing over here. We'll make this thing in center. Yeah. And after making this thing in center, and after putting this thing in center, what I will do, I'll just use this vertical bias, horizontal biasing, and put it over here. And I'll add a margin on the top. Margin, where is margin? Margin is over here, right? I'll choose the top one, and I will basically write 25 dp. Yeah, that way it will have some space, and I guess 30 dp would be fine, or 35 dp would be fine, in my opinion. And now we will basically do the same thing for this one as well. Okay, so let me choose this text view that we are seeing over here, and then let me just quickly change the color as this one. Okay, color as this one, and I will just put it, oops, what's wrong? Yeah, I'll just put it to this one and do the same thing over here as well. I'll just make this thing in center. I'll just put it over here, and we'll do some vertical. I don't think we need a vertical biasing. I just search for layout margin. I'll add a top margin. I'll add a nice 40 dp margin. Yeah, 40 dp would be fine in my opinion. I guess that should be fine, but even if it isn't, that's okay. And I'll increase the size of this thing to 24 sp. Yeah, so that the answer would be in, and the answer should be in bold letters. Okay, in bold. The answer should be in bold, and of course it should be in the middle. And yeah, these are the options. And after doing all of these things, what we will do over here is that we will basically, okay, the layout of this thing has been changed. Let me just quickly change that in a moment. And after doing that, I will basically, I don't know why this got messed up, but enter first number, second number. This should be the layout. Oops, what did I do? This is the correct one. And yeah, and after doing this thing, what we will do over here is that we will basically add an ID to it. Designing is the most important part, trust me. Answer text. Okay, this will basically do that, and add a result btn, result button, and I will add an ID to this one. I'll add an ID as first number, first num as the ID for this one, and for second num as the ID for that number, and we will get the result. Okay, everything seems to be cool. Let's run this application, and let's look at it. Let's see how it looks. Okay, let's try it out. So I've pressed the play button and the Gradle is running. I'll pause this video and I'll come back as soon as our application is ready and running. So yeah guys, as you can see over here, we can enter the number, and of course it doesn't work. We have to write the functionality. Whenever you press this get result button, we should show an answer over here. So for now, I'll just choose this text view and remove the text that is inside it, because we shouldn't have the text view over there. And now I'll just remove everything. So now we are done with the design part. So now in the next video we will go ahead and complete the coding part and complete our application. So see you all guys over there.